Hey everybody, it's still Highlord Tamberlane with no tripod and a bunch of obscurities and miniatures in a box. And we are joined by some modern looking soldier dudes with my typical half-painted, never finished Space Marine, and my brother Barzam back with a Kickstarter unboxing of stuff. So what do you got for us today?
Okay, so...
Well, wait, what are these guys, first of all?
Okay, those are from Spectre Minis.
Spectre is based out of England, okay.
So their whole shtick is they do modern stuff. They started out with Kickstarter a few years ago of U.S. Special Forces versus Somali rebels.
That's pretty cool. You don't have any Somalis, do you?
I do not have any Somalis. I have Russians and I have Americans.
These look Russian.
That is an American.
I knew that.
The other one is a Russian.
Okay, metal? I can tell they're metal.
They are metal.
Okay.
They've done some resins. I don't think they still do the resins.
Okay. All right, so what do you got for us first? Let's stick it right in front of the Marine there so I can try to keep it in the
what
video.
We've got in the box comes from the Phalanx Consortium. They have a Kickstarter that is starting to deliver. That is from a game they are calling Ultra Combat.
Ultra Combat.
Ultra Combat is modern warfare with Americans versus Russians.
Call of Duty?
Basically, yes.
As I dumped it out. Okay, when you splay all the figures.
So what we've got here, we have my hairy hands. And we have Americans.
America.
Now, like I've said in other videos, I do not have a ton of money to spend on this stuff, so I was not able to get one of the bigger pledges that included the rulebook. What I did instead was I went for just the all-miniature pledge, which gave me 2 fire teams for each faction. So I've got about 10 Americans, 10 Russians.
Oh, there's this other arm. Okay. You said these are Americans?
Yes.
Oh my god, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, American and Russian uniforms these days look pretty similar.
I'm assuming these are based on modern actual uniforms?
Yes.
Because I can't help but look at them and think of EDF, but...
Well, I'm sure they would actually look pretty good painted up that way.
I was going to say, we can go on a bug hunt and play EDF for them. EDF!
So, I just got these guys a couple days ago. As you can see, there's a lot of bent barrels, but that seems to be pretty par for the course for modern stuff, because all of my Spectre Minis have had bent barrels as well. And the reason those Spectre Minis are here is to give us a size comparison. These guys are sort of the standard buck when it comes to the modern stuff right now. They're probably one of the most prolific on the market next to, I don't even remember the Assault Group. Or Empress Miniatures. They're the only other ones I can think of that do modern Russians.
Okay.
So what you can see here, you've got actually painted is a Russian SSO marksman. That would be Spetsnaz for those of you.
He shouldn't be hanging out with the Americans. So this guy looks like he fits on a 30mm base. Are they have bases included?
They did not come with bases, but they all have integral bases.
This reminds me of like the old Britain's stuff like our dad used to collect with the painted.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But the nice thing about these guys, especially compared to any of the other modern stuff I've built, be it Spectre or Devil Dog, if you can still find them, is these guys are a lot chunkier.
They're pretty chunky.
They are all 3D sculpted.
Huh.
So
I would have thought they were actually
they are
traditionally sculpted.
They are not. The Spectre stuff is.
Okay.
So that is also why you'll see probably a lot of really thin barrels on the Spectre weapons, whereas these guys have nice chunky barrels where I don't feel like I'm going to break them if I slightly brush them.
Wait, so this dude was traditionally sculpted?
Yeah, I believe so.
Really? I would have thought the opposite. I would have thought with the big, thick pieces. I mean, honestly, I thought it was like more heroic scale, old school. Interesting. Okay, so these are the Americans. What else you got in the box?
The other stuff in the box, if I can find one of them, those are also Americans.
Get away, America.
We've got some very dynamically posed Russians.
These good Russians.
And I'll be honest, the Russians were the whole reason I backed.
I was going to say, I know you've been painting a lot of Russians lately.
If I can get them out of the bag, would be nice.
Shake it out.
And you can see many, many bent guns. But
base too.
Look how badass they look.
I was going to say, they look a lot more like, they mean business compared to the Americans.
So, bent gun barrels aside, you've got, everyone is armed with, I believe, an AK-72, I think.
I think this guy's my favorite. I don't know if it's just his base is messed up, but...
That guy's got a pretty cool pose.
Almost reminds me of something out of Infinity, the way he can't stand up or shoot his gun in a normal. I'm gonna get in a weird contorted position.
But
and
they're all very chunky. They've all got a ton of gear on them.
Yeah.
Their rifles are nice and big. I mean, this guy, I believe, is carrying the same type of rifle. And you can see there is a bit of a difference in terms of chunkiness here.
Alpha gun versus Chad gun.
Yeah.
Weak, anemic, skinny barrel versus manly man killer.
Good Russian gun.
Yes.
And the other bag also has their support gunner in
They
there.
don't have any tactical rocks though. They're not true wannabe Infinity. I mean, I guess could you? What's the Infinity Russian faction?
Ariadna.
Ariana, yeah.
It's also the American faction.
Well, but yeah, they have it. I mean, could you? You should have brought some. Yeah,
These
I know you
guys
got a bunch
will
of.
go very nicely with the new Russian Ariadna stuff.
I was gonna say because they're pretty kind of
Here's
near
the,
future.
Support gunner. With, I believe, an RPK? PPK? I'm not sure. And we also have a marksman. Whose gun is not bent.
Surprising considering he's got like the longest gun of the bunch. So what are you planning on doing with these after you paint them?
Oh, I have no clue. Probably play Black Ops with them.
I was going to say we can do like flying lead would be a good choice as well. Unless you ever get a hold of any of the rule books that they're actually intended to go with.
And you even have a guy with the noob tube.
Yes, he does. So how many Russians you end up with?
Should be 10.
10? Okay. I see 4, 6,
9 or
8,
10.
9. Maybe there's one floating around somewhere.
I don't think so. Could just be 9.
What's in this bag?
More Americans. Don't care about them.
Oh. So you have 4 in that one and 2, 4. Maybe there's 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? They did have commander figures that were available individually.
Interesting. So you said these guys were Australian?
You know what? I'm not entirely sure because they're partnered with Radio Dish Dash, who is
Australian.
Australian.
Right? Yeah.
They did the Skirmish Sangan stuff.
Okay.
They also did the Skirmish Rager Kickstarter a year or two ago, which the figures were decent, not quite as nice looking as these ones.
These are pretty nice, and I mean,
ones are really nice.
I'm not into the modern stuff by any stretch of the imagination, but I got to say, I mean, the sculpt quality outside of the flash, I mean, that's a given in this
And the bent
hobby.
barrels.
Yeah, but the bent barrels, at least that's fixable. They're not broken barrels.
Not yet.
Yeah, give them time, right? But yeah, no, the sculpts look really nice, and I mean, just using our token standard Marine here, if you wanted to use. I've always liked the idea of taking like these modern, kind of semi-near future looking dudes. And
Yeah, that barrel was seriously bad.
dude, I thought it was like a weird viewfinder thingy going on there. Yeah, that's
He's actually posed reloading his rifle too, which is
he's shooting around a corner. So yeah, I mean they're almost in scale. I mean you could probably get away with using them as a guard regiment. You want to get funky. They're not as awesome as my Abyssinia guard regiment from the other side. My steampunk Wakandans will take your Russian spec ops any day. Anyway, so very cool. Thank you for bringing these by. I'm going to let you enjoy painting all that camo. I'm assuming you're going to camo them up.
not the Russians.
No?
No, they are going to be the little green men from the Ukrainian conflict.
Interesting. Out of curiosity, how long did it take you to do?
Once I figured out how to do the camo, not that long.
Okay. Yeah, I have no interest in painting camo. So very cool. Again, this was from what company? Because I can't remember anything.
Phalanx Consortium.
Phalanx Consortium. I'll make sure the Barzam here gives me a website that I can include if you're looking for any kind of modern looking Russians or Americans. Can't forget the Americans. Their guns. All right, cool. So I will let you go because it's about time for me to go wrangle up my children and see what they've been up to for the last hour or so. Thank you for bringing those by, and hopefully we'll have you back soon. So once again, this is Obscurities and Miniatures with High Lord Tamberlane and his on-again, off-again brother, Barzam. Thanks for watching. Hope you stick around. There's plenty more videos where these came from. See you later.